So today we're gonna do a little collective energy pull. I was feeling drawn today to come out and connect with the forest and just to open up to any messages that are any guidance. First off too, we had this Florida water here that just spilled in the south. So I think that that's definitely gonna have some meaning today. I think that that means more flow in the south, which is kind of our place of adolescence, of learning these lessons of familial ties and rebirth. So I think that that's maybe there might be some energy surrounding family ties and family lessons, and it could be like family cycles and patterns that are coming up right now, that this is a great opportunity to facilitate flow in those areas. So we'd just like to ask the Great Spirit to be here with us and give our gratitude, knowing that you are always here with us in every second of every day. We call to all aspects of the Most High and the wholeness of our being. We call to the parentless one, the formless one within each and every one of us, the desireless one, the one who is love itself, who has no judgments. We summon that within each and every one of us, and we ask for your guidance, and we thank you for your guidance. And we would like to thank you for bringing forth any messages today that would help us to embody our highest self, our most true self, our most authentic. Not that we would become something new, but that we would shed everything that is not truly who we are, that we may embody our wholeness unapologetically and allow ourselves to shine from the inside out, to not stifle ourselves, to not shrink ourselves. For when we do allow ourselves to shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. That we may be a graceful and honorable mirror to each other. We thank you for our lives, Great Spirit. We thank you for our friends, our family. We thank you for all you do for the people and for the awakening and for our transition to this next phase of humanity. We ask that you would bring in a remembrance of wholeness, and that we would all recognize ourselves in each other, that we would stop judgments, that we would stop warring, that we would stop the fighting, that we would stop treating others less than ourselves, and realize that that is how we are treating ourselves. So we thank you for whatever messages that you would like to bring forth today in this medicine, Great Spirit. We love you with all of our hearts. Saho. So first off, I just want to do a little energy cleanse. This is for the solar plexus, the center of your personal power, which is called your karpai. So this is like where you glow that bright golden energy from. It's your center of your power, of your direction, of your ability to stand and to walk in the way that you would like to walk in. So we'd just like to ask Spirit and thank you for this cleansing energy. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to start off with a card for ourselves that will represent the collective energy of where we are. And then we're going to pull the guidance that we have from each direction of the medicine wheel. And then we will also do the spaces of above, below, and within as well. So really doing a pull from all 7 directions, and then we'll clarify if there's any clarifications necessary at the end there. Great Spirit, where is it that we stand as a collective? Where is our energy at currently? That's it. Interesting. We've got the Five of Cups. And what you can see is that he's staring kind of forlornly at these three fallen cups. But what he doesn't see is that he's got these two cups behind him. And what this tells me is that Spirit is saying where we're at right now is we're focusing on the negative, glass half empty. And we have this half full behind us, that our energy is sitting in a very kind of almost ungrateful space right now. And Spirit wants us to really be grateful for the part of this journey that we do have right now, and what can help sustain us to move forward on the journey instead of looking at the things that may have gone wrong or not as we had anticipated. What do we have for the lessons for our new beginnings from the East, from the eagle and the condor, from the merging of the masculine and the feminine? Spirit says this one. We have the Ace of Swords. And I read intuitively, so, I don't always follow kind of the guided meanings of the card, but this really is telling me that we are being very bold in this new beginning of who we'd like to be and what we would like to embody for ourselves. And this may include a cutting off of a lot of things in our life. This may include having like the biggest sword in the deck, you know what I mean? Very strong boundaries with what it is that we would like in our lives right now. And just an ability to be bold, to be ourselves unapologetically, and to stand for who and what we think is right, and to be a representative of truth. And that this truth may cut and may be uncomfortable to some, but we are willing to stand in that truth, and that is the guidance that's being given to the collective right now. So it's a great space to be. Great Spirit, do you have any guidance for us here from the south? There she is. I'm not going to take that as a reversal. I don't normally read reversals, so I'm not going to take that as a reversal, but I'd like to note it was reversed when it came out. We have the Two of Swords here. And you can see that she has a blindfold on. And my intuition that I'm receiving from this is that from our point of our family ties, and from the medicine of our adolescence, from the lessons learned in our maturing process, and of shedding of the old ways that we used to approach the world and embodying this new version of self, that it has left us kind of at a cross purpose, and that we are wearing a bit of a blinders to what we know to be the truth, is the energy that I'm getting with this. And that we're in a period of reflection that's asking us to be willing to see this cross purpose that we're at, and to take our blindfold off to the lessons that need to be learned, and maybe to the boundaries that need to be set. A lot of sword energy that's coming out with this. So really standing in our sovereignty, I think, is what's being called for. And what do we have, Spirit, from the west? We call on the bear. We call on Otorango, Mother, Jaguar. We ask that you would teach us as we go into the cave of the heart, that you would bring us any lessons that we need to know in this reflection and maturation period that we are about to be undergoing as a people. And what is your guidance for us in this direction? That's it, huh? We've got the Ace of Cups. Some big energy. It's 2 aces out of 3 cards. Excuse me, 4 cards. So the Ace of Cups for me is emotional fulfillment. It is an overflowing of love. in our lives, and it's when our cup is overflowing. We're not having to pour from ourselves into other. It's not draining anything from us. There's so much overflowing from us, so much love, so much grace, so much peace and joy and presence, that it takes nothing from us to give that to others. So I think that that's the guidance that we're being charged with right now, is to allow that to overflow from us and to really focus on not pouring from our cup if we're running low, but to focus on being that ace of cups, to being that overflowing cup. And that may take, as we said with these other areas, having strong boundaries, knowing when we're not able to pour from our cup because our cup needs to be replenished, and knowing when we are overflowing, when we're able to share that love and to cultivate the practices in our life that are going to allow us to be overflowing. Beautiful. In Great Spirit, called to the winds of the north, the ancestors, the star families and guides, and all those generations to come, 7 generations and beyond, we ask that you bring your medicine and your guidance for the completion energy of this new beginning and guidance that you would like to impart on us here today. Cycle that through. That's the one. We've got the moon here. This one also wanted to come up in reverse, which is interesting. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm going to take it straight. But I do want to bring that up, that both of these cards with the moon on it wanted to come up in reverse. So that could be telling me that there's something about our emotions that we're not very clear on right now that's confusing us, and that Spirit is asking us to have a period of rest, of pause, of aiming the bow as the Great Spirit pulls us back, that we would see our sense of direction and we would really feel in our heart of hearts what is right for us on a soul level, and that instead of allowing our mind to lead, that we would place our mind inside of our heart and to come into a resonance of the two, and almost like a co-parenting. It's a harmony, and I like to think of the mind as the masculine, the heart as the feminine, and we really want to bring that into unity. So again, we call on the eagle and the condor, and we would like to ask for your guidance and thank you for all that you do for us to help us to find that balance and to understand our emotions right now. And there could be a lot of energy coming in, from kind of multidimensional avatars, different access parts of our soul from different dimensions and star systems and times on this earth, possibly, that could be reaching out. Could be a very confusing time. So again, I feel like Spirit is just really asking us to go within, to take that rest right now, and to really understand what's important to us moving forward. Okay. Now from above, I'm going to pull one of the Starseed Oracle deck cards, and we're going to see what our star families and guides and angels and higher dimensional beings, Father Sky, what do you have for us here today? It says, I remember the fated life versus the destined life. And what this is telling me is that, with our particular lineage on this earth, or that there is a version of us that's kind of like naturally going to occur. And to me, that is like our fated life. And then a destined life is, to me, it is the life that we choose when we become who we truly are. It is when we remember ourselves and we are willing to embody that energy and to allow ourselves to become a vessel for the Most High to move through us. That is what allows us to step forth and to create that new path. And I think that that's really the guidance from above right now, is that we do create that new path for ourselves, that we don't just take what life has given us, that we use everything in our power, in our ability, in our choices, in our vibration, in the way that we show up to life, to be a representative for our soul, for what's important to us, and to what we want to see represented on this world, to be that walking embodiment of what we would like. And that, in my guidance from this, is what is going to lead us into that destined life. Then I'd like to pull from below. We have the Sacred Rebels Oracle here. And this is from the deep earth, from Amaru, the multidimensional expression of the serpent, who teaches us to shed our skin, our old ways, as she sheds her skin and is born anew, that we would be born anew as well. And Great Mother, we ask, in this year, the year of the snake, what is your guidance for us from the lower dense energies within ourselves, so that we would find balance and harmony? What is our guidance here? She says both. So it says big, bold vision and listening for the truth, or excuse me, listening for truth. And this really reminds me of like Shakti energy and of like Ma Durga and like Sophia, and just like the divine feminine, the kind of like black cat, like very strong, dark feminine energy, powerful, and really being willing to hold that energy and that ferocity and that strength and that power and that creativity and love and that wholeness of what that means. And also we have here the listening for truth. And for me, this really resonates on like, be willing to be wrong and be willing to be open to guidance and to show up as a student. You know, we really want to be willing to listen to the world and understand that, you know, when we talk, we're just hearing the things that we know. And when we really open ourselves to Mother Earth, to the plants, to the animals, to each other, that we open up ourselves for the ability to grow. And I think that that's what's being called for here, is being bold in the direction that we want to go and being willing to be a student along that journey. What do we have from within, Great Spirit? If you'd like to bring us an animal totem to help us with the energy of within in our heart of hearts, what is our guidance here today? That's so funny. We have the snake. And what this is telling me is that it's time to shed the old skin. Friends and family, this is the year of the snake. And to me, this means that this is the year of transformation for us all. And whatever that looks like, I mean, that could be taking the first step. That could be 1 minute a day of trying to meditate or to do whatever it is that you feel guided towards. It could just be subtracting something from our life. In my opinion, normally in healing, that is the easiest way to move forward into a new version of self, is to create space, not to add things that kind of cramp our space. So that could be what's being called for here. And, you know, a safe space that is created for us to have more space in our lives, to really reflect and to see what we would like to hold into our life and what areas of our life that we would like to move forward. And in what way can we better represent the energy that we would like to represent? Is there anything that's impeding that? Is there anything that's standing in the way? If there's one thing that we could look at and say, you know, if I subtract this thing, what will most increase my chances of reaching those goals? And Spirit's just asking us to reflect on that as we go within in this period. And finally, friends and family, I'd just like to pull a general energy here. A final message. Thank you for our journey. Great Spirit, for every day, for the slow periods and the rest, the opportunity to learn, regroup. We thank you for the patience that you've had with us as a people, as we remember who we are, as we walk each other home. Here we have second sight, and you can see what is a wolf. And then above, looks like it could be a second wolf or an owl or some, I think it's, to me, what it feels like is the higher dimensional version of our consciousness, the aspect of self that is always with us, that is always here, that is not a material item, that is awareness itself, that is what is experiencing all things. This energy would like to be a bigger part of our lives and to be in the co-creation here. And friends and family, to me, this is what brings in the Holy Trinity. It is ourself as the person. It is allowing ourself to be a vessel for the Most High to move through, which is what invites the Holy Spirit into us. This is what being a whole being is. It is to be the person, to be the Most High, to be the combination of all things in a centered place. So this is really asking us to, be here on the ground, be the mouse, be the squirrel, be the thing that's right here that's on the ground, as well as being the eagle. And this reminds me of a channeled message that a dear friend gave to me from my grandmother. And it was that the eagle has 2 feet for a reason. It cannot just fly all the time. And so really the energy that I'm getting right now is like grounded eagle, like having the vision, but also having our feet on the ground, having the ability to soar while simultaneously being present and on and with our Mother Earth. She's bringing such guidance to us right now. If we can but be still and listen. Ya na he na se na ta shina ye na hot trada isheta na na tina he na ye shana ishe na hana ito non ta tina sharapa ta rot mita ina shena hana Yona ine yanasine itana hanaye tata. We are one. We are a family, and we have forgotten this. Everything that you see is also yourself. You walk in grace, with love in your hearts. Thank you, friends and family, for any who have made it this far. I give my deepest prayers and blessings and gratitude and love and light. And I honor you in your journey. And I see you. And I thank you for all that you've gone through, for the struggles, for the hard times, for the beautiful triumphs, for the wholeness of who you are. Yaho, Mitakuyaas, and all my relations, may we rise above the illusion of separation. And realize this heaven on earth. Aho.